This podcast is brought to you by Hulu Plus. Hulu Plus lets you binge on thousands of hit shows anytime, anywhere, on your TV, PC, smartphone, or tablet. Support this podcast and get an extended free trial of Hulu Plus when you go to huluplus.com/roosterteeth. That's huluplus.com/roosterteeth.
The show. You don't just talk about
You intro the show.
You were talking.
Oh, go ahead.
You
sorry.
are so difficult.
Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special Spoilercast. I say special because it's the best out of all the Spoilercasts because it's about Doctor Who. And who doesn't like Doctor Who?
Me.
Bernie?
Yeah,
Bernie and
but-
Gus?
but
What do you...
Gus doesn't like
Why
it.
don't you like Doctor Who? Have you tried watching it?
I actually, when I was young, I used to watch the Spanish language adaptation, Doctor Quien. I was not a fan. That's a total joke. There is no Doctor Quien, although there should be.
You just disappointed so many people.
I would absolutely
Daleks.
watch that.
Yeah, I'd rather watch that.
Los Daleks.
Los Daleks.
So, okay, I'm not really well versed in the Doctor Who universe. I'm not ashamed to admit it. So I'm here to play the contrarian, I guess, and ask questions. That way, you guys can call me stupid and explain things to me. But for example, question number 1: what the fuck is that thing behind Brandon?
That's a Dalek.
That's a Dalek.
Can we go to the why?
What are Daleks? What is that?
Gee,
Let me guess.
It's hard to explain.
Let me guess.
Please,
Okay,
please go
okay,
ahead.
take a guess.
So if I had to guess, it is a robot of some kind. It's a distant cousin to Jabba's sand barge. They grew apart. He lost a lot of weight, and he is in charge of guarding time travel.
You are mostly wrong.
Damn.
In pretty
Daleks
much
actually
every possible way.
Jabba's airship.
Yeah, I didn't say that Jabba's airship was older.
Oh, okay.
Do you have any
No,
older
I'm just-
cousins? I'm sure you do. Who's the idiot now?
But it would have been so much older then.
So what is it? What the hell is this thing?
There's like a weird explanation. They're a combination of some kind of organic creature inside like a giant tank of a machine.
Like little like shriveled like Yoda looking dudes.
They look like little
that are,
squids.
Yeah.
So
And
they're
they
like
can't they can't survive outside their machines.
They're like really weak, and they use this to like make
Yes.
themselves. This is like
Yeah.
steroids.
Yes.
But I mean, you can just
It's
kick
like
that
what
thing
keeps them
too.
alive.
Like it wasn't really much of an improvement. You just got to kick it really hard and it'll roll the other way. But you can also make something else, like another organism, a Dalek, right? Which brings us to the current storyline.
the newest companion.
Yeah, the newest companion, Clara,
Clara.
the impossible girl, was made into a Dalek.
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 Can you not say
And then
Dalek?
she like left the scene. She died, and all of a sudden she showed up again in another episode, died again, and came back.
Right,
And I
that's
thought
what's
that
so
was like
confusing
the way
about
they
her.
handled that storyline for the second half of last season. I thought was really awesome.
Why is she the impossible girl?
Because she keeps showing up in his life,
and then
and she
keeps
keeps
dying.
dying.
And so theoretically she shouldn't exist because there should only be one of her in any given reality, right? But somehow she keeps popping up, and she always keeps popping up around wherever the Doctor is and whenever he seems to be in trouble.
So here's what happened. Fucking Doctor's friends left, and he got all emo, so he went to like England.
So emo,
and he got
dude.
really
He
sad.
went to like Victorian.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Victorian. Like, where better to mope in time and space?
Well, you gotta wear top hats. I mean, if you're gonna mope in a top hat.
So he met this girl,
I like that.
Clara. He decided, I'm gonna open my heart again. I'm gonna bring her in. She's
Which
gonna be
heart
my
did
new
he open? They
companion.
have 2 hearts, right?
Oh, he.
Oh, good.
They
Good
do.
one,
See,
Gus.
look-
Does
Gus
have
knows
two hearts.
something.
Look at this Gus who says he doesn't know.
I only know because I
Doctor Who.
see the shirts at Comic-Con and stuff. Like when we go, it's like Time Lord, and it's like a shirt with 2
When
hearts.
he watched
I'm like,
it,
what
was
the fuck
Dos
does that
Corazones.
mean? Dos corazones un mujer.
So then she dies again, and he gets really confused because he realizes it's the same girl who died the first time. So then he's
Mhm.
like, she's not dead. There has to be something more to the story.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm gonna go find her, and you're like, oh, this is really cool. And then next episode, he goes to a monastery. You know what I'm talking about? Like he just shows up and he's just waiting in this cell for a phone call. That was the Wi-Fi episode.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the
that one was weird.
They did. I guess it was a webisode between between the seasons where there's this little girl and she's playing in a park, and the Matt Smith Doctor he's like on a swing looking really sad, and he says that she asks him what's wrong, and he says he's looking for someone, and she's like, oh well, I hope you whoa, are you okay?
Okay.
Take your eye out. She's like, oh well, I hope you find who you're looking for and all this stuff, and then her mom calls her away. And then you find out that it's Clara, just
Yeah.
really young. Dun, 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 dun.
So the whole storyline of the last season was finding who this girl was. And then you find out that she is the girl that he eventually started hanging out with. Oh, it's complicated. Jordan, how would you put it in words?
Every time there's a question, I get answered with, it's complicated.
See,
Doctor Who
Who's
is
more
nothing
about-
if not complicated.
it's more about the questions than the answers, really.
Oh, this sounds like bullshit. This sounds like Lost.
Yeah,
it's more about the journey.
So okay, I'm going to roll back for a second here. Why do they have? Is he not human? Why does he have two hearts?
He's a
He's
Time
an
Lord.
alien.
Yeah,
He's an
Time
alien.
Lord.
He's
It's
a
species of human.
Yeah, he's just a
humanoids
different,
called Time Lords.
Time Lord.
And they basically, he's the last of his race. There was this thing, it was the Time War, and it was the Time Lords fought against those Dalek assholes, and they ended up like trapped in a loop that they'll never be able to get out of, so they're just fighting the war over and over and over forever, and no one can get in or out of that reality. I guess, is that the West? I don't know, is that?
Yes,
never heard of
I mean,
something
that's a
like
lot of
that.
speculation of what this, the episode coming up is going to be about. So the 50th anniversary episode is airing
Tomorrow.
pretty soon, tomorrow.
Yeah,
And it combines the current Dr. Matt Smith with David Tennant.
somehow.
And
Who's David Tennant?
David Tennant was the previous Doctor.
Okay.
He was the 10th Doctor. Matt Smith plays the 11th Doctor.
we see them here. This is a trailer for
and
the
then
episode.
there's
And John Hurt as
Yeah.
well.
is apparently also a doctor.
Yeah, so
The Doctor.
did you guys watch the webisode that just came out, the Night of the Doctor?
No.
No, I'm like, I barely even saw that trailer. I'm
Okay.
going in blind.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't want me to.
No,
No,
go ahead.
please
Go
do.
on.
This is a
Okay.
spoiler cast.
It is a spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler
You're right.
course, please.
So this website, I actually just watched it on the way here from the airport, and it's the Doctor. He lands in a spaceship. He lands his TARDIS, and there's this chick who's got a distress signal, and so he's like, "Come with me, and I'll take you out." And so they get to the back of the ship, and she goes, "Is that a TARDIS?" And he goes, "Yeah." And she's like, "I'm not going with you. You're a Time Lord," because they're in the middle of the Time War. So, and the Time Lords and the Daleks are in the process of basically destroying reality with this war. And so she's just like, I don't want anything to do with Time Lords. I will absolutely, I'm going to stand right here and I'm going to die in this crash instead of go with you. And so the ship crashes on this island where these ladies have figured out how to basically make immortality. Like they've got these cool brews, they got some drinks, they make you immortal, and they can also control the Time Lords' regeneration, so he can decide how he wants to come back.
Oh, that's
so you know how
weird.
like
What?
normally when you regenerate, it's random,
That's
Yeah.
weird.
right? And so, but they go, "What do you need to be?" And they basically convince
Ginger.
him to get involved. They basically convince him to get involved with the Time War, like to put an end to it because it's tearing reality apart. And so he decides to become a warrior,
So
and that's what the John Hurt Doctor is. He's not
he's not the
the Doctor. He's the War Doctor.
Okay.
He's like a warrior.
Because they say in that one episode where John Hurt ends up, at the very end, the whole time he's the Doctor saying he's the Doctor who didn't live up to the name of the Doctor.
Yeah, so they explained that a little bit in this webisode too, as they say, the lady says, "You're the Doctor, and you're a good man," and he goes, "Well," blah, blah, blah. And she goes, "Well, to you, the Doctor is synonymous with being a good man." So clearly, he doesn't think that this warrior lived up to that, so that's why he doesn't call him the Doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, they actually set that up too in Matt Smith's second episode where they go up to Sky Britain because he's faced with a situation where he has to take this space whale.
Oh,
This
dude,
is
it's
what's
so
called.
cool.
And he has to so basically
what's a space whale?
a space
The
whale is a
whale in
whale
space.
that flies through space.
It's a giant
Really?
like moon-sized whale that just it floats on like flares sun something in
Okay.
space.
So at some point the Earth was going to get destroyed and everybody left in a spaceship except for the British. They couldn't figure out how to make a spaceship.
It's
Or they couldn't
it's
figure
probably-
out-
Classic
they
Brits,
can't figure
right?
out how to make an engine for a Jaguar either. It's that fucking, it's that shitty British steel. It's not their fault.
I think they made a spaceship. They couldn't figure out how to make it move. So then this whale comes along and they grab the whale, they attach the spaceship on top of it, and they torture it. So it just like keeps going through space.
This is like a fucked up version of Star Trek 4. I just want to say that.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. But they do, like, the city they build on top of the whale's back is pretty sweet.
They build a city on top of the whale's back in space.
In space.
Where
so they got
else,
like
Gus?
they got everything
Where
to
else
go
is-
except
like
for
they
the
built
engine.
does the space whale have an atmosphere?
Stop asking questions, Gus. They're only inside the city. Like it's like not they're
The
not
city's
out
fine.
like
So they're
running
not
around
in
on its
space.
back.
They're fine because they're in a city in space.
Exactly.
If there was no city, then they'd be fucked.
Totally.
So
Then they would just be in space, and you can't live in space.
Well, yeah, obviously. Duh. Come on.
the doctor's in the situation that if he lets the whale go, everybody will die in the city. So it's like thousands of people.
Like it'll buck the city off
But if
essentially.
he does nothing, then the whale continues in just withering pain. So he decides he's just going to make the whale brain dead. And he's like, it's not a good option, but there's like nothing he can do. And he's like, I'll have to change my name because I won't be the doctor anymore. So they kind of set it up in that episode that the name the doctor to him is synonymous with actions and ideals. Because in the finale of last season, he says, I said that was me. I didn't say he was the doctor.
Yeah.
I acknowledge that we are the same organism, but he is not,
He's
who
not
the
the
doctor
doctor.
is. And then immediately the text just flies on like
Yeah.
the doctor. Because there's
John Hurt
obviously
is.
a difference between how other people perceive him and how he perceives himself. I don't know. I
Totally.
thought it was really well done.
Yeah.
I liked it.
That's a good point.
I mean, the last episode was really pretty heavy. With the fact that he basically went where he's going to die. Like that's a big deal.
Yeah. So there's one place that Time Lord should never go. in
Wait.
time and
Let me
space.
guess.
Yeah.
The one place Time Lords should never go in time and space is to the Time Dungeon.
No, Time Dungeon's a good time.
Okay. Not the sex time dungeon.
No.
Okay. Where should a Time Lord never go?
His grave.
Okay.
You should never visit your grave.
I see. Because are they already dead and they're time traveling and their grave exists somewhere?
Yeah, because no matter who you are, you die at some point. So at some point, the Time Lord,
I mean, his
He
timeline
dies.
is so it's all over the place.
But what
He
if
could-
his
he could be
grave
like,
is way in the future?
but he's a time traveler. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
It's like you can go anywhere in time and space, but since you can visit your own grave.
I see. So you should
Yeah.
never go visit
You should
your
never go visit your own grave.
Which honestly, I mean, that's good advice for normal people too. Don't visit your own grave.
And it's funny because they get there and you expect to see a body, and it's just like this big thing of light, and they're like, "Where's your body?" And he's like, "I've had a ton of bodies. Why would I put a body there?
Yeah.
It's boring.
Mm.
Look, this big thing of light."
I see.
So, I don't know. I thought it was a really, really good way to cap the season. I mean, Jordan, you were pretty disappointed with the last season, weren't you?
Yeah, just because I just like season 6 so much better.
Wait, season 6? I thought this show's been on for like 50 years.
Well, this
Wait,
is like
well,
of the
if we-
rebooted revamp.
Yeah, us youngins start counting from when they rebooted in 2005.
Yeah.
So they essentially, the show was off the air for like 30 years, and then they go, why not bring it back? And so they brought it back 2005, and that was with Christopher Eccleston, and he was the 9th Doctor.
Wait.
What?
Hold on. I'm going to call some shenanigans here. So the show has been on for 50 years, but it was off the air for 30?
It was off
From
23, I
1985
believe.
to like 2005.
So like
Yeah.
20
But,
years.
but in the meantime, they had like some spin-offs.
Another-
They had radio
They had
shows.
A made-for-TV
Oh, radio
movie.
shows. Are they
Yeah.
time traveling too? They're like, are they back in the 40s when radio was relevant?
They had a
This just
Canadian
in.
made-for-TV movie that was written for American audiences.
Now,
It wasn't great.
didn't they decide that the movie's like not canon, or was that the 8th Doctor?
No,
Does that
that's
count?
the 8th Doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing too, and that's why the way you're explaining it seems pretty interesting. But I always thought that John Hurt in the finale of last season was the Doctor between the movie Doctor and the new TV Doctor.
Which
You
movie?
think so?
Huh?
What movie?
The made-for-TV
Oh, okay.
Canadian
Okay,
movie
okay.
for
Wasn't
American
that make-
audiences.
wasn't sure it was
Wouldn't that
another
Pay
make
attention.
I wasn't sure if it was another
you-
one.
Do you want to be here?
Is this the only Doctor Who movie? Is there another
yes,
one?
it's the only Doctor Who movie.
So, well, there's never mind.
It's complicated.
Yeah. There's so you're under the speculation that in between 8 and 9 there are other Doctors. It doesn't go from whoever that guy was.
Well, but here's
Yeah,
the thing: is we don't know where the not Doctor fits into the timeline exactly, or
Yeah.
at least I haven't picked that up quite yet, because he's not, the 8th Doctor, the 9th Doctor, but the not Doctor could be anywhere in there. I assume that he is before the first Doctor.
The
though.
Noctor, we can call him.
The Noctor.
For simplicity's sake.
the thing is, Clara does say in the last episode that I saw 11 faces. You're the 11th Doctor. Presumably, she's met all of them.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah.
At
she's-
least
she was
from
in the
her
background,
perspective,
probably.
if she's an authority in the matter, maybe it's not. I don't know. That's why
So-
it's
But
a
he
pretty
can't be-
interesting thing to propose.
But he can't be a future version of himself, or Matt Smith wouldn't have recognized him.
Well, that's the whole thing. What are David Tennant and Matt Smith going to be doing?
Yeah,
well,
like David Tennant
they
just go up to him and be like, "Hello, who are you?"
Well, here's the thing: is David Tennant might not know who he is until
Yeah.
Matt Smith introduces himself, because Matt Smith, being the future version of the Doctor, would recognize
That is
his
the
past
most
self.
awkward picture of the two. They're so handsome. How is
David
that?
Tennant looks like a bird.
So, okay, another stupid question.
Also,
time.
that looks really strange.
Why are the doctors numbered?
It's just
Just so we can
chronological.
keep them straight.
Yeah.
I mean,
when
like,
there's
why?
more than
What's-
one thing.
What's the difference between
That's just the number.
the 8th and the 9th Doctor,
like,
for
so
example?
when he dies, instead of dying, they regenerate into essentially a new physical being. So it's the same. It's still like the same spirit or soul
Same
or whatever you want
memory.
to call it.
His
It's
different,
still like the
different
same
vessel,
person.
essentially.
All that. Yeah.
But yeah, it's an
So-
entirely new physical body and even slightly new personalities and everything.
So when you say that they can never visit their grave, what grave? Because do they regenerate every time they die?
Well,
also,
you
how the
run
fuck
out.
how the fuck are the Daleks going to win this war if they never die?
they can run
against
out.
the Time Lord?
See, that's one of
Oh,
the
they run out?
You
well,
can-
that's one of the
you
things
run out
that
of-
people are worried about. Is wasn't there supposed to be only
13.
like it's like
I
12
think-
or 13
yeah.
regenerations,
But
and
it's
then
science
that's
fiction.
it?
You're just like, well, what is that? Have you seen Thank
Well,
You
yeah,
for
they could-
Smoking?
yeah.
They're
Thank
like
God
trying
they
to
invented the whatever.
They
they're
could
trying
totally
to plug
just ride
cigarettes in
around
space.
it.
And it's
That's
like you
what they
can't
do
have
anyway.
a cigarette in an all oxygen environment. And we'll just be like, write it in. We'll just say, yeah, thank God we invented the non-oxygen environment machine so we can smoke cigarettes. It's sci-fi.
Yeah.
Do anything.
Yeah, you could just write your way around it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure
well,
they'll
I
write their way
anticipate
around
that's
it.
what
But yes,
they'll
like
do.
I already figured out a really brilliant way they can write their way around it, though. Is remember when River's song basically gave him, she used up
Yeah,
all of
all
her
of her
generations to
regenerations,
bring
yeah.
him back. She would have given him all the spares too, just
Hey.
by
I'm
by
sure they'll come up
accident.
with
I mean,
something
Hey,
crazy.
up to
Who's
26
counting?
now.
What?
Up to 26
26.
regenerations.
We're good for another 500 years, of which we will broadcast for 200.
Patrick, can you look up a picture of Matt Smith, the Doctor, making out with River Song?
Why?
They cast River Song, who's played by the girl from ER,
Yeah.
when David Tennant was the Doctor,
Right.
similar in age, and then they cast Matt Smith, who's 26, and River Song and the David Tennant Doctor hadn't started getting it on, but River and the new Doctor are all about it, but they're so awkward looking. It's the most disgusting thing in
Oh,
the world.
hey, come on,
And
there's-
she keeps
there's-
showing
there's
up.
nothing
and I
wrong
just
with-
want her to go away.
Brandon, there's nothing wrong with a bit of cougar action.
Yeah. Hey, he's
Besides,
like 900, you know?
Yeah, he is 900. Just
Cougar
because he
Action's a
looks
great name for a
26.
band, by the way.
But that's what's great about That's what's great about
Or
Clara.
Doctor Who spinoff.
She's so cute and they look so good together, and they're totally doing it, aren't they? The signs are there. Am I the only one? Like, the walking by,
Clara and the
he puts
Doctor?
his arm around her.
He's a
She looks
married
Clara?
man.
Claire and the
They've-
Doctor,
they've
they're
s-
totally doing it.
They've said no, but they do look like they're getting a bit frisky.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Please put that picture up.
Is that
Oh
what
my
you're
God.
talking about? Is that
yeah,
River?
yeah. That's a
It's
picture
a-
of the two of them.
Oh my god.
Making it
I don't know what I'm
out.
looking at. I
Look
just did
at
like
her
a search on my phone, and
That's I feel bad because that's not a flattering picture of either one of them.
There's
but
no
they, but they
flattering
look
picture
way
of her.
into it. I like her though.
Google her, that actress's name 20 years ago. I bet you that'll be a flattering picture. It's so ridiculous that they're together. It's a horrible
I-
casting.
You
You know
think
what?
you could do better?
Yes, Clara, she's so cute.
But
She
they
is
can never
pretty
be
adorable.
together. She's the impossible girl.
Oh no,
Brandon
they
is
hang out.
way.
I'm explaining stuff to you, man. I don't know. I feel like I've got a better grasp on this already.
I think
No,
you
so-
should be sitting in that chair.
Oh, so here's what happened. So he can't find this girl, and they eventually he finds another version of her, and she has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. So the whole last season is him traveling with Clara, trying to figure out
Clara.
what her deal is. Because he's
Okay.
like, is she fucking with me? Does she know something and she's not telling me?
Maybe she's got 3 hearts.
Ooh.
She's like a time king. Are there time kings? Are there time vassals?
Time Dukes.
I mean, do we have like a time hierarchy here? I just want to make sure I understand. So Time Lord is just the name of their race. They're not.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not like
It's
time
not a
royalty.
ranking system. No.
Okay.
Yeah, they have their TARDISes and they go through time and
The time serfs digging and plowing
Time
time
lords.
fields.
Time lords are time travelers who own land
Yeah, they own a little bit of time and space.
and they can vote.
They pick a time king once every 10 years, which to them is like nothing because they can just time travel, right? I got this. I fucking know what's going on.
Yeah, Gus. you
I
should be
kinda
doing- Why
like-
aren't you in this chair?
I kind of like your explanation of it better than
Than
I
the
would
real
watch
thing.
that show.
Yeah, it's great. I'm a genius.
It'd be like
So-
Downton Abbey, but sci-fi.
What is that thing? That sonic screwdriver.
So the Doctor doesn't have a gun.
That's
He
basically,
has a screwdriver, but in a lot of ways, it does behave like a weapon.
it's not a screwdriver. They just call it that because it's vaguely screwdriver shaped at this
Well,
point.
no, it's a utility machine. It can open doors. If you have something going on, it can scan you and be
Screwdriver
like, this
shaped.
person has... So you scan somebody, and then you just look, and you're like, yep, this person has the flu.
It's totally a cheat mechanism.
Yeah,
basically.
it's
He
like a
just-
writer's dream.
He
of-
it can open locks. It can shoot out rays.
Look how
it can do
pathetic
anything.
David Tennant's looks compared to.
So it's
He's
like
like a little jealous.
it's
they-
like a writers get out of jail free
Yeah,
card.
It is
Yeah.
with one exception. It doesn't work on wood.
What does that mean?
It can't affect wood.
Yeah.
It can do like
Wooden
anything
doors?
in the
Nah.
world. It can take your temperature. It can make you all better. It can unlock jail cells, but it doesn't work on wood.
Why? Is wood like time proof?
Yeah, duh.
It's Sonic.
Haven't
proof.
you ever...
Well,
you
there
ever-
are some engineering limitations. I don't know.
But the whole point of the screwdriver...
There's got to be
is-
some rules in the show.
And the screwdriver, the name of the screwdriver, the name of the doctor, they're all supposed to suggest some kind of, passiveness. Like some sort of there for defense and to help. Like he doesn't have a gun. He has, a screwdriver. And that's his, his catchphrase, like one of the big things he's known for is just run.
Yeah.
Not stand there and fight and die, but get
His
the fuck
catchphrase
out of
is
here.
run.
He says run a
Run
lot.
from conflict. He
So-
has killed people though.
Oh, no. He is very violent. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong.
Yeah, like when he gets mad, he's like destroying planets.
I mean,
kind of bad.
I can understand that. A motherfucker who will go after people with a screwdriver, there is something violent and wrong with that person. It's like a weird version of Old Boy.
I do like whenever the doctor gets like
A weird version of
really
Old Boy?
upset,
Weirder version.
I just love that he can switch from that like childlike, everything is really interesting and cool to like I'm destroying your entire race right now.
Yeah, Matt Smith gets fucking
Oh,
dark.
he gets
Yeah.
intense. It's amazing.
He has this moment, and I think it's a moment that sells a lot of people on him. It's like the end of a 2-part episode where they're trapped underground by these creatures, the statues, the weeping angels.
Oh, that was a great.
And they're
two-parter.
just like, there's like hundreds of weeping angels all around them. And they're like, we basically got you fucked. And then Matt Smith goes on this long tirade about how they made a mistake. They're like, what's our mistake? He's like, there's one thing you never do. One thing, if you're smart, you never put in a trap. And they're like, and what's that? And he's like, me. And then he fires a gun. He did have a gun in that situation.
Wait,
He never has a gun,
But-
except
in
that time
that
he did.
situation-
except in the best part of the show.
But
he
he
had a
didn't.
gun.
But he didn't fire it like at anybody, right? I mean, you can't kill the weeping angels that way anyway. But I do like that they got sucked through the like time crack.
Yeah. All right, let me read this real quick. This version of the podcast, this Spoilercast, is brought to you by Hulu Plus. You've probably tried Hulu.com. Hulu Plus is so much more. With Hulu Plus, you can watch your favorite shows anytime, anywhere. Hulu Plus lets you watch thousands of hit TV shows and movies in the living room or on the go on your smartphone or tablet. With Hulu Plus, you can watch your favorite TV shows like SNL, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Shark Tank, and Scandal. Watch every episode of shows like Lost, Law & Order, SVU, Doctor Who, yay,
Hey!
and Community.
What?
You can also check out exclusive content including Hulu originals like The Wrong Mans and Behind the Mask, Hulu's new docuseries that takes you inside the world of sports mascots. You'll also get access to a collection of ad-free movies and kids content. For only $79 a month, catch up on current shows, binge on old favorites, or catch a great movie. Stream as many TV shows and movies as you want, whenever you want. Right now, you can try Hulu Plus for free for 2 weeks when you go to huluplus.com/roosterteeth. That's a special offer for our listeners. Make sure you use huluplus.com/roosterteeth so you get the extended free trial and they know we sent you. Go to huluplus.com/roosterteeth right now for your extended 2-week trial. And if you do really want to watch this week's 50th anniversary special of Doctor Who, you can catch up on all the Doctor Who stuff you've missed on Hulu. And I'll say this. If you watch some of the original or some of the new series and you're like, this looks so shitty, BBC stuff, style, video, or you think David Tennant's just moron, you can start out on the Matt Smith season 5, the 11th hour, and they basically reboot the whole show. They introduce you to the whole new characters, the show concept, basically all the rules of everything. So you can start the show at season 5 and then work your way up. I'll say it, not a big David Tennant guy.
Brandon.
Not big on him.
And I was about to compliment you on your bow tie.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal of Matt Smith. He seems so boring.
You mean you don't get the
I'm
feel
sorry,
of
I
David
don't get the
Tennant?
feel of David Tennant.
Oh,
we have a
slip.
question at the green screen.
We have a question from the green screen.
What the fuck is this that I'm in?
You're in the TARDIS.
Am I gonna make a phone call?
No, it's the
Obviously,
TARDIS.
the
It's not a
TARDIS
phone
has
box.
materialized around Gus, right? So
Yes.
You're in trouble, man.
yeah,
All
So
he
what
needs
is
now
the
is a
point?
wedding dress.
Yeah.
What is the point of this thing?
it travels through time and space.
So it's a doctor?
No,
Is this Doctor Where?
The TARDIS is
The TARDIS
like,
is how the Doctor travels through space.
I'm so lonely over here.
It houses the doctor. So is this his spaceship?
Yes.
Yeah.
What
that's-
happens now that payphones don't exist anymore?
It's
well, the
not
problem
it's
is
not
the
a phone
chameleon
box.
circuit on his TARDIS is malfunctioning, so it's always the shape of the police box.
Yeah, see, so for one, it's not a phone box, it's a police box, which is a very British thing. That's why
Yeah.
it's blue, not red. And yeah, I guess it used to, like, it has this chameleon thing where wherever it lands, it will just turn into something
Like,
that
say-
looks like
Yeah,
that.
say he goes to ancient Rome, it'll turn into like a column or something.
Which
like a
brings
marble
me to
column.
another point we should talk about in a minute. But
What-
it got stuck at some point as a blue police box in London, and he likes it that
Because
way.
it's a piece of shit. He stole the shittiest TARDIS. Like he literally
Well, no,
took.
some would argue the TARDIS stole him.
Well, that's what the TARDIS claims, certainly.
All right,
So-
well, I feel foolish.
You look like a
feel,
fool.
I feel retardus.
Oh!
So,
Can you go
I'm-
work some of those
I'm
panels,
leaving.
Gus?
Bye.
Yeah, that's not how it works, you dummy. What a nerd.
What a nerd!
God.
Gosh, nerd.
You know, one of my favorite episodes was the one where the TARDIS ended up in the body of that chick.
Oh yeah,
That was a
Neil
great
Gaiman wrote that
episode.
episode.
That was a
One of my
good
favorites.
episode. So the summary of the episode was the Doctor gets a distress signal from another Time Lord that he used to know, and he rushes to the distress signal, and it turns out that this planet, it's like a the moon or the planet, it basically devours. There's a thing that it devours TARDISes, like it consumes the time energy
Yeah,
and
it ate,
kills
like,
them.
All these Time Lords and
Yeah, and
shit.
then they like kill the Time Lords, chop them up, and then you repair the like two people that live there, like with his body parts. It's weird,
it's like some
but they
Frankenstein shit.
they basically eject the soul of the TARDIS into the body of this chick. And so then this chick is the TARDIS the whole time, and she's hilarious.
Yeah.
She thinks
Soul of the
she thinks her
TARDIS?
name is sexy.
Yeah,
Because that's what he always calls her.
it's
Hello,
really cool
sexy.
because it gave like
It's the first time the TARDIS had a voice.
yeah, it personified the TARDIS, and you could see like the relationship that they have, the Doctor and the TARDIS.
Okay.
It's like
if my car could talk.
exactly, or like your
Yeah,
computer.
really, like your car.
Or like it's like if my car turned into a girl who gave me piggyback rides at like 60 miles an hour down the freeway. Come on, Prius. That's what I would call her. 'Cause that's what I drive.
I love
Let's
that
go.
episode too because it shows off how much Matt Smith's Doctor can get the writers out of anything. Because
Oh, he's brilliant.
they're not in space. They're in the space outside of space.
Yeah.
Are you
And
are you
Rory-
crediting the actor for getting the writers out of
Yeah,
trouble?
yeah.
Oh, he's
I like
Rory's
the way the way
brilliant.
they explain it in the show.
Yeah.
is what you're gonna say where it's like he's like think of it as a bubble.
Well, hold on. Rory is
Yeah.
basically the agent to the audience. So Rory's
that's what all
the hot
companions are,
redhead
really.
chick's fiance, and he's just kind of like, whoa, wait, no, slow down. What's going on here? Like, what's the reasoning behind this? And then the Doctor says,
He says think of it as like a bubble on top of another bubble, and we're in the smaller bubble outside the bubble.
And you know
And
what?
then- and then he
I
goes-
see it.
Or I think Rory proposes that. He goes, "Is that what it's like?" And he goes, "No, but think of it if that's what you want."
if that helps you,
Yeah,
and then he
if that
just
helps you.
moves on
And
from
you
it.
never explain where they really are.
So it's
It's
like,
open interpretation.
I like that imagery though.
Yeah.
Like that imagery, I totally get.
yeah, I'm
it's
satisfied with
wrong.
it, but it also
No.
gets them out of like trying to explain anything, and they don't need to. Like, you're outside of space. I'm
It's
okay with
true.
that. I'm okay. Let's move on and let's do
Yeah.
something else that's fun. I don't need to know how the midichlorians
we don't need to
got
get
you
into
out of
the,
it.
the
We're in a
brass
show
tacks
about
of this.
time travel, about going through like space and time with different dimensions.
They make
Is,
their own
is, a,
rules.
is a pocket outside of space really that hard to believe?
You've got to suspend the disbelief.
Well, what if space is everything? Is it
But
like a-
that's the whole
but then
point.
it's
That
not.
it's in nothing. It's outside of everything.
Think about it. It makes you think, man.
The show.
but it's not like that. But you can think about it that way if you want to. Right?
That's what he's saying. Yes.
Okay.
You sound like the Doctor.
Yeah. Who?
Oh,
So is
Who?
who his name? And did he attend medical school?
He did not attend medical school. I'm holding this the other way. I almost got hurt.
You
You're gonna
are.
hurt
You're going to
someone.
shoot yourself.
Most of the time, it's people trying to figure out who he is. So they say Doctor Who, but there's
Yeah.
never an answer to it. That's the whole point.
There
is
was
you
like
want to know
all
who he
of
is.
this season was just like they were dropping that all over the place.
Yeah, like
Because at the-
Doctor,
yeah,
Doctor Who.
At the end of season 6, they had the blue guy whose head was in a box, and he was
Oh
like,
God, I almost don't want to
the-
spoil that though.
It's a spoiler
That's like
cast.
one of the
Oh, but
best
that's like
Spoilercast.
parts, where he's like the
Anyone who's
question,
watching this,
the question you've been running from your whole life. And
The
he's like,
question that must
"Doc-
never be answered, hidden in
Doctor-
plain sight.
Doctor Who, and then like he just keeps
Doctor-
repeating that, and then like throughout like the first half of the next season, they drop it like every now and then where it's like the Daleks like or like Doctor Who,
Doctor Who.
yeah.
Because the big thing, the
How come
past
the
few
Daleks
seasons.
come back if they don't know who he is anymore?
Oh, whatever. They'll write it out. They'll write their way around it.
maybe they can detect the double heartbeat.
So when they have the new, David Tennant left, who's super popular, so they got a new guy, and they basically rewrote all of the storylines. They created this crack in space, which deleted all these other things that have happened. So they basically hit a reboot button, and they started this multi-season storyline, which I thought was pretty cool, and it all revolved around the Doctor doing something that's going to undo time,
Yep.
something really bad that happens. So there's lots been made about the question, how the Doctor can never answer the question. So for like years, you're wondering, what's the question? Like, what question can he not answer?
What is your real name?
Yeah, sort of.
Do
There's
we know,
a lot of.
Do we know his real name?
No.
Well, we thought we were
going
gonna
to
get an answer to that.
Yeah, they teased it in the
The name
last,
of the Doctor.
Yeah, in the last episode of the full season,
Yeah,
which was called The Name of the Doctor,
Mhm.
and Clara knows it,
that's right.
but we don't.
Yeah,
They
She
play a
only
lot with
whispers it,
like
that
the
bitch.
literal use of words and the meaning. So I think a lot of times people were like, "What's his name? Jones?" But they kind of reveal like that's not the point. The name is less about what his legal birth name was and about what the name of the Doctor meant and who the guy was that didn't hold up to that name.
yeah. What?
So
are-
the
what
and the
personality-
secret,
what
his
ideals are
secret that could
synonymous?
undo everything, is that Doctor who showed up,
The
John
Doctor.
Hurt, at
Yeah.
the end of last season.
Doctor,
That is
thank you.
in this episode.
Okay.
So yeah,
And okay, real fast.
okay.
I'm sorry. I have a lot of questions, so I'm trying to get
Well,
them all.
like I said, it's all
in
about
here.
the questions. So.
What is this special that's coming out this weekend?
Oh, I was gonna say we should talk about that.
Yeah, so it's the.
Well, I'm glad I fucking adhere to your schedule
So,
then.
Yeah.
it's
Very
so
good
this
guess.
is tomorrow. It's 50 years to the day from when Doctor Who went on the air. So it's 50 years from the day of the first episode.
Okay.
And so it's a 50th anniversary special that they're doing. And they have a habit. This is why it's a multi-Doctor episode. Is I guess their anniversary specials. They tend to do like multiple Doctors. They bring them in.
So they,
Or
like
just
these,
one,
these anniversary
in this case.
specials. Is this like a typical thing for the show?
Not every anniversary, but like the
Okay.
big ones. I
Okay.
guess.
Yeah.
So
50's a
they
big-
50's a
haven't
big one.
they haven't done they haven't done a multi-Doctor episode since the I don't want to call it a reboot because it's not quite the recontinuance, the
Why?
Anyway. restart. But they did like previous like the 25th anniversary, I think they did a multi-Doctor special and that sort of thing. So it's like one of their traditions. And they're doing a cool thing this year or this time where there's actually a whole bunch of theatrical showings. I think the Alamo might be doing a theatrical showing tomorrow if
Ooh.
anyone wants to go.
Before those motherfuckers on Twitter try to nail us on our Doctor Who, they did a mini episode.
That's right,
Or
with
like
David Tennant.
they did like a video for charity where David Tennant and the fourth Doctor hung out on the TARDIS.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Why are you really old?" And he was like, "The crank of this thing is this way, and science that." So they explained why that Doctor was immediately a lot older because the actors obviously aged.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did a ton of those crossover episodes early on. They did, I think, an episode called The Two Doctors, The Three Doctors.
Mhm.
They did one with 5 Doctors just running around through space. That seems super silly.
Oh, that seems like
It is
a
silly.
circus. And
How many
awesome.
Doctors are going to be in this 50th special? Do we know?
Just the two.
Just the two.
Oh,
2.5.
I guess
The
Chris,
two and
I
John
guess
Hurt.
You said the
Christopher
Doctor's going to
Eccleston.
be in it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I guess-
the Doctor
two
as
and a
well. Yes. And then Christopher Eccleston, I guess, declined. He didn't want to be
half.
in
That makes
it
sense.
or something.
Apparently, he doesn't really like being on the show.
Yeah, he left the
Yeah, he
show.
left
the
after
show
one
in
pretty
the
early.
first, not at the end, like in like, the premiere of the next season. While the
Yeah.
show's going on, he's like, "Guys, I don't want to do this anymore."
Yeah.
So, whenever a actor decides to leave, they do this big thing, which is actually kind of cool. the actor who's leaving the show stays on for when the new actor comes in. So you actually see one actor transform into another actor, with the exception of Colin. What's his name?
Colin
the guy. I don't know if we have the graphic, but the one wearing the really stupid doctor outfit in the center with the curly hair.
Oh, the one with the stupid outfit.
Yeah,
the
oh,
stupid
okay.
outfit.
That totally narrows it down.
He was a real asshole, so he didn't want to be on the show. But with the exception of him, you see every transformation from one actor to the next. Again, with the exception of the movie to the TV show Doctor.
I do have to say, I think that the stuff the Doctor wears is really endearing. Like a suit with a trench coat and trainers. That's cute. Bow ties are cool.
Bow ties are cool. We almost got a fez. We almost went and got a fez.
Does he wear fezzes?
Sometimes.
He keeps trying to find new trends, new cool stuff. So he's like, "Oh, we're a fez now. Fezzes are cool," and that lasts for 10 minutes.
And then he puts on a Stetson.
Yeah,
Stetsons are cool.
They do a run in the American West or something, and he's wearing a Stetson, and it just.
So I guess at fundamentally, can Doctor Who episodes take place at any period in time? Are there Old West episodes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they jump around all
there
over
are
the place.
future episodes.
Victorian England episodes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they go to
They
monks,
go
they go to
different
Pompeii,
planets.
which is another thing we should talk about. Is the new Doctor.
You keep hinting at that.
I
yes.
do.
What about it?
So they announced this earlier this year that so Matt Smith has decided to leave the show.
Mhm.
He's had a wonderful run. He's been one of the
Like
is he
3
been the
years,
longest
yeah.
running Doctor?
No.
Not long as
Tom
but-
Baker was on for 8 years.
Yeah, but
Okay,
so,
well,
so
not
far
even
he
close.
and Tennant.
the
It's basically he and
resumption,
Tennant had been on for mostly the same number of time.
Okay.
Tennant had a lot of specials though,
Yeah, he did.
but it's mostly the same.
So Matt Smith is leaving, and they announced the new Doctor, and so this is the end of I call it the Dreamboat era because these are the 3 youngest Doctors ever in a row. And they're going to an older dude played by Peter Capaldi, who I guess Americans would know him from, if you know of Peter Capaldi, it would be from the movie In the Loop. But
Wasn't Peter Capaldi a character in Heroes?
You watched that show?
It was, right?
It was. What was their last name? Was it that?
I thought it
last
was.
name?
Anyway, I'm
It's
sorry.
something like that. Yeah.
So he's like an old dude now. He's gross.
older certainly
older.
than a 26-year-old.
Okay.
He's
like
actually
your
on
age.
this. He's on this really popular British show too, where he swears constantly.
What is that? Hold on, I'm gonna look that
he
up.
just it's not just swearing, drops an F-bomb. He says the most vile, disgusting stuff. And they're like, pegged him, you wanna be the Doctor? Take this.
You gotta stop
screwdriver."
cursing.
Oh, there we see him here. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is actually he made
This
a
is what,
guest
season
appearance in
3
an
or 4?
David Tennant episode a few years ago.
The Fires of Pompeii.
Fires of Pompeii, actually, along with the companion from Matt Smith's first go around. What's her name?
Rose? No.
What?
It was with
What are you talking
What's
about?
Matt Smith, the redhead?
hot redhead.
I don't know why I'm blanking.
Amy Pond?
Amy Pond.
Amy
There
Pond,
we go.
yeah.
I completely
I
blanked
was
on
like,
that.
what? But that wasn't her. That was.
I remembered Rory.
They're both in the episode. Amy's,
she was in the episode. Yeah, I see what you're
Amy's in
saying
the
now.
episode as well as
Yeah.
this new Doctor. So if you were also in that episode, you have a pretty good chance of
Yeah.
coming back.
Yeah, just keep watching that episode and you find out who the next Doctor is.
Peter Petrelli.
Ah, that's what it was.
Close.
Yeah,
Close.
yeah. I knew you were on the right track.
I had to look it up.
Hey, we should do a hero spoiler.
Wow, that show's so bad.
Yeah, just season 1.
The first
just
season was
one.
good
Yeah, just
until
season 1.
10 or 5 minutes before the end of the first season. It's fine.
That's the series he was in. The British series that Peter Capaldi was in is The Thick of It. And In the Loop is the spin-off movie of that, I guess.
So
That's the one where he's all sweary.
it seems like a trend in television is for American television to make adaptations of British TV shows. Has there ever been an American adaptation of Doctor Who that's produced and distributed exclusively in the United States?
Well, that was the reason why they made the movie. Is
For Canada.
Well, a Canadian company made it, but they wrote it in a way that it wasn't like any Doctor Who story they told. There hasn't been a story told like it since, but they made it for American audiences. They wanted a Doctor Who to become popular in America, and it didn't work. But oddly enough, now it's huge.
Yeah.
So in the American version, instead of a police box, was the TARDIS like a giant Chevy?
No, he's still British.
Did he eat donuts all the time?
No, but if he was
Do
in America,
American
was he in
things?
America or was he in the UK?
He was in America. It took place in L.A.
So-
No. It took place in San Francisco. He got a.
So what was the
He got a
TARDIS?
drive-by. He was.
What?
He was the victim of a drive-by shooting.
Was he in Oakland or San Francisco?
That sounds like Oakland.
I think it was San Francisco.
So was the TARDIS was still a police box? People weren't like, what the fuck is this thing doing here? 6,000 miles from where it should be.
Yeah, oddly
No,
enough,
Well,
no.
I mean, the TARDIS can go anywhere.
Well, oddly
Yeah.
enough,
It's out of place.
no one anywhere
It's
has
out
ever
of place
seemed to
almost
notice it.
everywhere
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah, like if you were walking down the street in Austin and you saw a police box, you'd be like, "What the fuck is that thing?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or
even
if you
he
were
goes
on
to
Mars,
contemporary
or
London.
anywhere. I mean, anywhere if you're not in Britain in like one small
No,
area.
contemporary London, they don't have the same style police boxes anymore. So
But-
they'd be like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
It's also important to note that
It's a
doesn't the
Banksy
TARDIS it can go invisible whenever it wants, right?
Yeah, you can make it invisible.
So when the TARDIS became a woman, could she turn invisible?
Sadly, no.
No, she was limited by her human
They
capabilities.
didn't have the VFX budget for that.
She had really nice boobs too.
She can make the TARDIS sound somehow.
Oh yeah.
There's just a
She,
sound
she
effect
like
they
looks at him,
put in.
she's like, I'm the one that does this.
and then it goes. Roar, roar.
You know what I love about that is
like
that
boner.
that's the sound of the TARDIS being driven badly.
Yeah, that's like
I
It's
love
like-
that River Song. She can drive it. She can fly the TARDIS. And he's like, no. He's like, oh, this just does these things. And she's like, no, that means you left the parking brake on.
exactly. Yeah.
And then she does it, and it's just silent. It's like this amazing thing. And then he does it. And it sounds like he's trying to put it in reverse.
yeah.
Or
It makes
just,
that
like,
it makes
grinding
that
the
sound
gears or
like
something.
yeah when the gears grind. It goes. Grr, 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 grr.
River Song again is the ugly old woman
Hey,
who makes out.
you are
She's-
mean.
I
She's a
hate
great
her.
driver,
She's-
though.
She's
so
radical and
annoying.
she's spirited and
She's the worst.
she writes on ancient cliffs when she wants to get his attention,
Is
which
that
I
her?
think is really sweet. And she's also the doctor's wife, so show some respect.
So old.
She's the
You know-
doctor's wife?
No, it was like
Yeah,
a
they get
shotgun
married.
wedding. It was essentially either you marry me or I will end all eternity and all existence through time.
That sounds like the kind of woman I want to marry.
Isn't that every marriage?
they get
Isn't
along.
every woman like that?
They're sort of married, but they have this weird thing in that they're both time travelers and they keep like meeting up in the wrong order. So
They're, like,
so they have to,
reversed.
yeah, so they have to like check in with each other and be like, has this happened? And
Yeah.
try not to spoil it for each other, like spoil the future.
Yeah.
Because they've run into a future version of them somewhere else in the past, or they're basically going opposite directions.
So Gus, if it's like you and I kept meeting at different times, I'd be like, "Are we friends yet?" I'd be like, "No." I'd be like,
it's
"No, I
like the
still hate you."
astronaut's wife.
"I guess it's not never." What?
The time traveler's wife?
Isn't that the movie, The Astronaut's Wife? I don't
Oh.
know. I'm talking out my ass.
But yeah,
But
it's-
so
it's-
like the first episode that River Song appears in, she dies because it's the end of her timeline. So
they're not completely.
theoretic-
It's not completely. It's not Benjamin Button.
it
Where
was
it's like
it was on
first
it
and
was on
last.
that
It's
kind of
mostly
track.
kinda
Now it's a little
random.
more wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
Timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah.
What's the first
Can't explain it.
episode of Doctor Who you ever watched?
What is it called? The Impossible Astronaut? Yeah.
That was the first one I ever watched too.
Really?
Yeah,
Mhm.
because I mean that was the one that was out.
That's probably why I like season 6 so much, because there was like all these questions. It's like, this isn't normal. He just doesn't die every episode.
But see, like that didn't really hook me into the series, and I kept watching stuff in random order. And then when I went back and watched the first episode of the Matt Smith era, that's when he gets me. And there's a great scene at the end where they show all the previous doctors, and then Matt Smith comes in, and the effects are great, and just like, "Hello, I'm the doctor," dick. That's to me, that's the scene.
And amazingly, now it's easy for anyone to catch up on Doctor Who using Hulu Plus.
That's true.
The the first episode I ever saw was actually, it was weird because it was not Doctor centric in any way. It was the Blink episode. It was the first episode with the Weeping
Doctor's
Angel.
like not in that at all.
No, the Doctor
So Carey
is
Mulligan is,
basically
though.
he's basically
Wow.
a cameo in it, and the entire episode is about the Weeping Angels.
So what are the Weeping Angels?
They're alien creature things that when you look at them, they become statues because you can't kill statues. When you're not looking at them, that's when they move.
They're like Shy Guys.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Yes.
They're like the booze, like when you turn around.
Yeah,
like-
I actually have a shirt
over
that's about that. But they and what they do is the Doctor describes them as the kindest psychopaths on Earth. They kill you by when they touch you, it zaps you into the past. They consume the energy that you would have lived with in the future, and then they just let you live to death in the past.
Yeah, that's what ends up happening to Amy and Rory.
Yeah, that's how they leave the series. Is they
Yeah.
actually get stuck in the past. with
But
the
they
Weeping
live
Angels.
happily together in their little
They're sent
bubble
back
of
together?
time.
Why aren't they sent back separately? Like I assume
Shut up, Gus. I don't know.
They-
I don't remember how
There's
exactly
something
it
weird
happened.
that specifically happens with that. They might have been holding hands. I don't remember the details of that actually.
Yeah.
Just that they ended up and the
It could have
Doctor
happened
couldn't go back there
simultaneously.
because
What are you doing?
it was too tangled or something. Yeah.
What are you doing, man?
What's up?
What are you doing?
I was trying to find a good video of the Weeping Angels. They are. It's funny because it's like, it's like no effects. They basically like they shoot a shot, and there's like a statue, and then like, all right, cut, bring in a different statue, and then
And
just
like,
roll
move it
another
a-
statue.
move it a
They're
little
like,
closer.
All right,
And
roll
yet,
camera.
But it's terrifying.
It
yeah, and
is.
yet
It's
it is
really
one of the
scary.
scariest. Like I became so scared of like all the gargoyles on buildings and everything. I now wouldn't go anywhere near London.
The biggest reveal is that like the Statue of Liberty turned out to be a weeping angel.
Seriously?
But here's the thing: is it can never move because there's always someone looking
Everybody's
at the Statue
always
of Liberty.
looking at the Statue of Liberty.
I-
So we're
okay.
fine.
No, that was like, it was kind of like a fan service type.
Yeah, that
moment.
was. It was
wasn't
a bit of a
like
joke.
a really big thing.
I would
in
argue the whole show is pretty fan servicey.
Yeah, it was just like a way to say like, oh, this episode's about weeping angels, yay! And so like they had this whole episode
That
in
was
like
Angels Take New
old
York, right?
film.
Yeah.
It was film noir style in New York, and they did this thing like they were saying where Rory and Amy get trapped back there, and the Doctor can never go back to save them because the time forces are all messed up. But it's like, can't you
Because
just go
that's
to
the
like
rule.
Boston and drive? Can't you like
He doesn't
rent
do
a
that.
rent a
He doesn't,
car?
he doesn't have a license, Brandon. What do you
Yeah.
want him to do? Break the law?
Yeah, please.
Can he like just wave his sonic screwdriver at it and fix it? Or like
That's
look
not
at
how
it?
sonic screwdrivers work, Gus.
Can I hold it?
Yeah.
Look,
It's
the
pretty
show
cool.
makes its own rules, and those are the.
There's a little
It
button you
decides what
press.
rules
But
can
when
and
you press it,
cannot
you have
be
to,
broken.
You have to like do that.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah,
you have
you
to
gotta
flick
be
it
like
with
that.
authority.
No, you gotta be like, and then you gotta go
Or
bzzz, and
one
you
of
gotta look
these, like over the shoulder.
Oh yeah,
like,
like the.
that.
This is like the nerdiest thing ever.
No, it's
at. No,
not.
it's not.
How do you
You're doing it
activate the
wrong.
light?
Oh, I couldn't get a battery in it. It's like
Seriously?
I gave
Oh.
up.
Oh, here,
kinda
someone
ruins-
on Twitter, Ghost Director says they both went back to the same time because it was the same angel that sent them back.
Sure.
So
I buy it.
so did they run into every other person that Angel has sent back in time? Like, is it just like
Yeah,
a
it's
collection of them?
It's like
Potentially, I
it's
mean,
like a
maybe
fraternity.
if they
It's like,
if
oh,
each
you too?
angel has
Yeah.
its own like past settings, like this one will send you 50 years back, this one will send you 75 years back,
Yeah.
and so on. I can see that.
They do. God, I think some of the reasons people love that show so much is why they love any kind of time travel stuff is because they play with time in such a cool way. Like for
Let's kill
example,
Hitler.
in that episode, someone has written a book. One of the characters that is there, River Song, has written a book about what they were doing, and they have that book. And so Amy is reading the book, and she reads that someone gets their arm broken, and then the doctor gets really pissed off because he's like, now we can't prevent it. He's like, what? It would have happened anyway. He's like, no. It's going to happen because you read it. Because we now know that it's going to happen. There's no way around it. But before, we would have had some sense of free will to prevent it to happen. The way they skirt around free will and time and
There's
fixed
you-
points in time
yeah,
and
that,
liberty.
That term, the fixed points in time thing, is like,
That one gets me a little bit.
yeah,
There's no.
that's a little irking.
It's not a fixed point in time if they want to change it.
I know, yeah.
No, you can't. You can't change a fixed point in time.
Exactly.
That's why, like, you can't go back.
But
and,
who makes up the
the
rules?
writers
This
who
does-
are
Exactly.
jerks.
Right here.
well, it's like, why don't you stop the Holocaust? Fixed point in time.
Yeah. But you know,
That's what they do
try
in
to
the
go back
Pompeii
and kill.
episode. She's like, why don't you save everybody? He's like, fixed point.
Well,
they got to die.
There's one
try to kill
episode, was it
Hitler.
The Waters of Mars, I think, where he tries to change a fixed point in time. He tries to get
Wasn't that a movie? I think that was a movie.
The Waters of Mars? No, that was an episode. That might have
Okay.
been like it might have been a between season thing. I can't. It might have been a special. I'm not sure.
Mm.
But so he goes to Mars where like the water is like turning people into monsters or whatever, and he saves like this one person who died there. Like according to history, she died there, and he tries to save her anyway. And so he gets her in the TARDIS and he gets her home. When she's so messed up by the whole thing, she commits suicide. So she just dies.
She
another
dies
way.
anyway. Yeah, there's some things you can't change.
So on the actual sonic screwdriver, is there really a red button on the
No,
bottom like this?
That's the button to make the sounds
Oh,
happen.
okay.
When it's
When
it's
there's
got
a battery and
batteries.
stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, shit, batteries run out. The doctor.
Yeah,
it's
there's
the
not
doctor
like a
idea.
billion double A's. Or there's just take a double A.
Yeah.
There are literally like 50 right over there.
Let's talk about our favorite character, Brandon. The I can never remember his name. He's the little potato guy.
Oh yeah,
Potato
it
guy.
starts with an S. Strax.
Strax.
Strax is amazing. I would watch a spin-off episode with Strax and then the what is it? The lizard woman and then
Yeah,
her
they-
lesbian.
Oh, the
Yeah.
potato guy.
Yeah, they deserve their
Yeah.
own show because they're like fighting crime and solving mysteries.
Do they
and-
turn up in Torchwood at all?
I wonder. I haven't watched that much Torchwood.
Strax is a really funny character. Like he's
Yeah.
great comic relief, and he and Matt
it-
Smith have such weird chemistry. Matt
Yeah,
Smith's such
'cause
an
he's always
asshole
like-
to him.
He's always like, "Let's destroy everything."
Yeah,
That's his answer to everything.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like
sounds
a
like
grenade.
sounds
Wasn't there
like
like
my kind of guy.
yeah? Wasn't there like a kid or something who was like, "I will destroy you," and the kid's like, "What?"
No,
Is he
he's a,
Morvo?
He basically like so he comes from a warlike race. Like they're all
Yeah.
clones.
They're bred. Yeah, they're all
They're
clones
bred
and they're
to
bred
just like they just like fight. That's what they do. That's their entire existence is fighting. But for whatever
But they're
reason, he
kinda
ends
charming.
up basically as like the footman of the Doctor in like Victorian London, and so he's always threatening to do like these terrible warlike things, and then he's like, "Oh."
And then you find out he's Jack the Ripper.
That'd be a great.
Fixed point in time.
See, one of the
Yeah, you can't
characters we were
stop it.
talking about, the girl that hangs out with him, ate Jack the Ripper.
Ate
She
Jack
ate him,
the
yeah.
Ripper. That's kind of kinky.
Who's your favorite character, Ashley?
Favorite character? You know, I like Donna.
I like Donna. Never
Really?
got a
Donna,
good-
I feel like Donna got a lot of hate, but I really
I
liked
liked
her,
her
and I
too.
also liked.
She
the,
was
She
like-
was the British girl in the
She
office.
was like
Okay.
she was
She
the one
did.
who would like the doctor would explain something and she'd be like, "No, shut your mouth," and be like, she
yeah,
always
she was like
fought
a
back.
really like a
She
really
wasn't,
like
like-
mouthy, bossy, like ginger. She was a temp from Sussex or something like that, and she was like, "I'm the best temp."
yeah.
And
The way her story ends is so sad.
it's very sad, but like I love her as a character.
Yeah.
And I know that like a lot of people didn't like. A lot of people like really disliked her as a companion,
Nah,
but
I
I
like
thought
her.
she was
She's-
wonderful.
I think she's my favorite. Between her and Margaret was good too.
I also like the guy that Matt Smith moves in with. Like he moves in as a roommate.
Oh,
that
chubby
chubby
guy?
Yeah.
And then he comes back and he's a companion on like what 1 or 2 episodes after that.
yeah.
He was really funny.
Yeah, that guy's funny.
Because he was the kind of person that would react as any like normal person would, being like, "You're fucking crazy."
So you keep saying companions, or does he have like? Is this like his party, the people he travels with
Yeah.
and goes on adventures
Usually
with?
he has like one partner that he takes with. To...
I would hope a healer typically, or is he the healer?
No, healer's good.
Yeah, I mean,
No, that's Drax. He's
This
a
isn't
healer.
World of Warcraft, guys.
it's Dungeons and Dragons. It's fucking partying 101. You can never have trouble finding a party if you're a healer.
Okay.
It's a bit of wisdom for
Gus, who's your favorite character?
you. Doctor Who.
No, you can't say the Doctor. That's lame.
Why not? You just said who's your favorite character. I said Doctor Who.
It was implied that I meant every character besides
But
the
the
Doctor. The implication.
Who's your
was
favorite
clearly there.
non-doctor character?
No. We asked
your
him the
favorite
character.
Doctor character?
Who's your favorite character?
I did. I answered it.
You
Doctor
can't
Who.
say the Doctor.
You didn't stipulate that.
It was implied.
No, it was not.
Jordan, ask him the question.
Who's your favorite character who's not the doctor?
Doctor Quien.
Who's
Does he have
Brandon?
call
Does he
back.
have a sombrero and a mustache? And his TARDIS is like a giant taco.
That's stereotypical, but sadly, you are correct. I don't have a favorite character. I don't know. What's her name? What's the character you hate? River?
Yeah.
She's my favorite.
No! Why would you say that? She's so annoying.
So I have a question.
she has a
So-
front butt too. A giant front
Nice.
Oh,
butt.
I'm into
come
that. It's
on,
like-
Brandon.
So I have a
Brandon.
question for you, Brandon. So I'm learning a lot here. So apparently
Are
there's whatever these number of doctors who are all the same soul or the same intelligence, just different bodies
And personality.
and personalities. Which doctor do you most identify with? Like if you had to claim you were one of the doctors, which one would you be? Which one's most like you, I guess?
Oh, jeez. I want to say Matt Smith. He's so cool.
Nice try, though.
I know. I suppose the Fifth Doctor. He wasn't as silly, he kind of like went around and was maybe a little bit more grown up than Tom Baker. Didn't wear like the really silly scarf. I don't know. What would you say?
Oh, I would never answer a question like that. That's fucking stupid.
You're an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got him.
Oh God, I just see like quizzes like that all the time. Like, find out which doctor
Which
you
doctor
are.
are
Like,
you? Yeah.
what does it matter?
That's like find out which Harry Potter house you're in.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the people who get Hufflepuff. It's like there's nothing special about you, you Hufflepuff.
You're in the
motherfucker.
background. You'd be sort of Hufflepuff and be a minor character at best.
So we're all excited about the special. It's been so long, Jordan. You and I used to watch
It's true.
every week, and we haven't had an episode in forever.
Are we gonna watch?
Yeah, we
Am I
should
gonna
get
come over
together.
to your
We should
your
watch
house
it.
and watch
When's the last time there was an episode?
March
It was like
or May.
Not-
I think it was.
Not March of this year though.
It was like August.
It's been a really long time.
It was August. No,
been
it was
that long.
May. It was a while ago,
So,
but
like
it's
6
been a
months
while.
ago.
Obviously, we're great fans. Of
And
the
then there's
show.
going to be a Christmas special And then
That's where
there's
Matt
going to be
Smith
like
special
another
is where
6
Matt
months or
Smith makes
7
his
months.
exit.
Matt Smith's gonna die in the Christmas
So-
episode.
We have this 50th anniversary special,
Mhm,
Yep.
mhm,
then a Christmas special,
mhm.
Where Matt Smith is going to die and regenerate into Peter Capaldi.
and then in 6
Peter
months we'll
Petrelli.
see Peter Petrelli playing Doctor Who.
Is it Catrelli?
I don't know.
Capaldi.
Yeah, I think the
guys.
next season is going to start next summer.
Okay.
So there's going to be like one Doctor Who episode in like 3 years.
Yeah, I guess there's not
It's just weird the way the cycle works, but I'll tell you this: I am absolutely gonna cry when Matt Smith dies. Like, there's no way I'm gonna keep it together. I'm gonna be.
when
I
when
can't do
David
it.
Tennant regenerated, I was sitting on my couch. I cried for like a half hour. David Tennant was an amazing doctor.
His exit was so long. Like he was like slowly dying, and
It
he
was-
went
I
like
will-
to all these places
did
and said like
drag it out a
goodbye to
little bit.
everyone.
They
I
did
was
drag
like-
it out.
Come on,
What did he die of? Boredom?
radiation poisoning.
Radiation, yeah.
So he's like that thing, like, hey, I'm gonna see all my favorite,
Yeah.
people and give them radiation poisoning too, because I'm
Just
fucking
come
dying.
in here. Bring it in. Let's hug it
You're
out.
gonna die now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he would like go around and be like, and it was just like he was trying to like the writers were trying to get everyone to cry. It's like, remember all these good
worked.
times?
It totally worked.
Yeah,
It's interesting too.
Got to see Rose.
It's a well edited,
true.
well put together sequence where he regenerates into Matt Smith, and that's like Matt Smith's first moment on the show.
yeah.
But he's the first Doctor who like fought dying. It felt like all the other ones accepted their fate, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Now I'm gonna end."
His last
And
words
his last
were, "I
words
don't
were-
want to go."
Yeah, I don't want
Oh.
to go. And then he has this like violent, explosion. Presumably, maybe he was like fighting it,
Yeah,
but it actually had like a real shitty impact on Matt Smith, because a lot of people kind of felt like David Tennant was saying he didn't want to leave the show. Like, I felt like no one was excited for Matt Smith. Everyone's giving him a hard time, but now he's kind of opened the door for the next Doctor. Everybody's excited again. Like, it was hard to follow David Tennant.
Are you gonna choke up?
A little
You look
bit.
a little glassy eyed.
A little bit. I look the David Tennant with that like whole like I don't want to go moment, and the someone who like told his future, they told him that he was gonna die, and before he died, they just said like he will knock 4 times, and there's a whole thing with his like Time Lord nemesis. I can't remember his name off the top of
the
my head.
master.
The Master. There we go. Thank you. And they got through, and like he knocked something 3 times, and then David Tennant stopped him, and it's this whole thing like, yes, he's good. And then what is it? Donna's grandfather.
Yeah, he's in like some
He's
sort
in
of
like he
chamber
was in
that's
like some sort of chamber that was about to get radiated, and the only way to
Yeah.
get out was to like open the other door and go in and steal it from the inside. And he's just sitting there in this thing, has no idea what's going on, just goes knock 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 knock, like, hey, are you gonna let me out? And you hear the 4 and you go, no. It was just
Pretty
like
cool.
this terrible thing.
That was when Russell T Davies was the writer of the show, right?
Yeah, well, I actually
they all left when Tennant left.
Yeah.
well, one of
and-
the things that I heard was that Tennant left because they were changing showrunners, and he wanted to give him a clear shot at changing the show's style with a whole new Doctor.
I don't care. Good, fuck him. I don't like Tennant.
Jesus.
Fuck him.
What did he ever do to you?
I just don't care for him.
You gonna show us on the Dalek where he touched you?
Yeah.
There.
Oh, God.
On your plunger.
Yeah, this doesn't
It's-
come up. Like,
it's-
this is a plunger and real.
Is this your personal Dalek that you brought in?
Yeah, don't you see all the stains?
Gross.
Jeez.
Looks like a ladybug.
It's a semen joke.
So that thing's a plunger. So like,
But it's
Oh.
also like it's like a plunger, but it's also like a ray gun, but it's also like
Well, he's
so
got
when
the
he's
ray
when
gun
he's
and then
not
he, like,
busy
it's like a
being
fork and
evil,
That's how he like.
he could be a plumber.
sure.
Yeah.
He's like,
You could plunge with that, yeah.
Yeah, and he can even get upstairs because now you can just
Yeah,
levitate.
I was gonna say like in that one episode in like season 5 or season 1 of the reboot where it's like Rose is running away from Daleks and she like goes up the stairs and the Dalek's just like it's like, well, that's cool, and then it like floats and you're like, oh fuck. Really?
Can you do a Dalek impression, Jordan, for us?
You go first. There were some at I saw some in Adelaide at the con I was just at. They were going around. They were like, exterminate.
Oh, it was good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Did you ever see the YouTube video that was like a relaxation thing, and it was the Dalek just being like exhale.
that's pretty funny.
It was
Yeah,
really funny.
Even I can laugh at that.
So, Gus, are you going to go and watch an episode? Just watch one episode. Watch the 11th hour.
The 11th hour. So okay, that's a good question. And if there's one episode I'm going to watch, you're saying I should watch the 11th hour. What do you say?
I would say Blink. That'd be
Blink
a
is
good
a great
yeah,
first episode.
because you don't get too much of the Doctor, but you get some of the cool universe stuff and what it's all about. It's not really you're not getting overwhelmed with too
What
much
better way to see if
information.
you like a show by watching the episode?
No, you don't want to
that
get
the
overwhelmed
title
with too much
character
information.
is not in.
No, it is nice though in that like this girl is trying
I'm
to
gonna
figure it
murder
out in normal person time, and then figures out how time travel works and is able to give him
You
something
get it
in the
from
future
a
that
perspective
benefits him in the past.
of
I mean,
a regular person
it's actually like I actually think it's really
like
cool.
us.
Although I will say that if they had anyone else in it, they shouldn't have had. Who's the companion at the time? Donna? No, not Donna. The doctor girl.
I don't know. Are you guys done being
Martha
wrong?
Jones. Martha Jones.
She
She
was
was
Margaret earlier.
She was
Martha.
the worst fucking companion.
I'll
I hated
add
her.
both
thought she was
episodes
okay.
to my Hulu Plus queue, and I'll watch them over the weekend.
Shit, it's good.
Yeah.
And you
Very
like
good.
Amy Pond. Amy Pond, she's like the Scottish companion. She's
sassy.
probably my favorite. I
She's
want to
alright.
say Clara, but Clara's kind of annoying
I think she hung
after
around
she
too
dies
long.
a couple times.
They did hang around an awful long time.
Yeah. I liked Rory better, actually.
Rory's really funny.
Rory was funny.
But you should check out Rory and the whole bunch. Season 5. Guys, I'm super excited. I can't
Yay,
believe
viewing
that it's
party.
almost here. I don't know. I feel like I've watched each episode like 10 times in preparation, waiting for this moment. And so I hope it doesn't spoil. Hope everything goes well.
We hope it doesn't spoil. Okay.
Spoilercast.
Honey doesn't spoil.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much
Sorry, Bernie.
for joining us.
Thanks,
on
everybody.
This Spoilercast. Everyone say goodbye.
I was sitting on
Bye.
the couch. I can get you
It's
on it.
nice.
I'm looking this direction. I got this.